Hey, Mom. Well, I am going to do the zucchini bread that I messed up last time. I didn't really mess it up, but I tried to kind of, you know, put a little twist on it, if you recall. And, well, that didn't go real great. So I got everything out that I'm going to need. And I'm just, going to be quiet for a minute because I'm going to put all my effort into preparing this zucchini to be, sorry, oh, there we go. I'm going to prepare the zucchini to be shredded. So, I kind of let these go. Well, I don't kind of. I've actually let them go longer, but this year I'm just not doing it. This is plenty. One about this size, completely cored and devoid of all of its seeds, is perfect because you need 2 cups of shredded zucchini. And that's about what this ends up being in the end. Ouch, maybe a little more. All right, let's do this. All right, so and this is like the most, I don't know, it's like the least fun part of this job. So I tend to do it first. Now this is zucchini out of my garden, and while you probably wouldn't want to eat this zucchini fresh, because they say the longer you let it go, the tougher the flesh becomes. And so I think when you're cooking it in bread, it doesn't matter because it gets to the point where it gets, and it is what it is. All right, let's take the end off. So you see, you got that seed right there. I chopped a little bit into. Now you would think that that's a nice hunk of zucchini, right? But really, you've got to take all of this out because that's the seed filled. Oops. Okay, let's see what's going on. Okay. Cut this in half so I can properly clean it. I don't want to miss any. When I was young, I didn't really care so much, but I didn't know. You don't know what you don't know until you know it. Once you know it, you do better, right? I hope. Well, that goes for more than just baking, right? That goes for anything in life, really. I mean, you don't know what you don't know. And as humans, I know it's hard because we tend to go with our base instincts, but anyways, I guess the point is, we're not perfect. And once we learn about something that needs to be fixed in our own life, it's up to us to do so within our own life. It's not up to us to go fix the world. Just work on yourself. And I promise you that once you work on yourself, once you work on yourself, you're going to show people the way. It's all about showing people the way, not telling them. Kind of goes with that old adage, children learn what they live. Meaning they don't learn what you tell them, they learn what they see. Okay, so be a light in the world. Kindness is needed terribly. All right, let's see if we can push this sucker out. Boom. All right. So I said I was going to be quiet while I focused on shredding, but I haven't gotten to the shred part yet. We're just prepping the zucchini. And basically getting the seed filled out. Okay. I think I need to invest into a box shredder. I do have a food processor, but I really haven't used it. I don't know if I could shred. I don't know if I can shred in a food processor. Hey, if you know about shredding in a food processor, could you let me know in the comments? Thank you. Here we go. All right, 2 cups of zucchini. I don't skimp on that. Oops. Goodness. I don't want to shred the tip of my finger. That's why I go slow when I get to the end. And usually what I'll do is, if I do get to the point where I'm at a very firmly packed 2 cups, I will cut up the rest and kind of like dice it and put it in the freezer. And then I put that, I can use that in my smoothies. So that's what I like to do. So my zucchini, I'm sure like most people, you get to the point where I got, and that is where the zucchini plant does not sit upright. It just kind of falls over and now, begins to sit on the grass, which then again begins to have that powdery mildew and, just a lot of issues, right? So, oops. What I did was, I went ahead, excuse me, I went ahead and, golly, what was I saying? What? Oh, holy hell. I just forgot everything I was just saying. Okay. That sucks. I hate it when that happens. Oh, getting older is no joke. It's not for the faint at heart. So, I guess I'll tell you a little bit about me. So, I am Tammy, also known as Grammy Tammy. I have 13 living grandchildren and one that is an angel baby. We lost him last year. That was difficult. I have 3 children of my own. They're all grown. That's where I get the 14 grandchildren. You know, life's not easy for anybody. But it's even more difficult for the kids of drug addicts. And unfortunately, I was a drug addict for most of my life. Methamphetamine. And, excuse me. Luckily, I have over a decade of clean time. I don't even know. Let's see here. Bella is about to be 14, so I want to say 12 or 13 years. I think it's 12. Of, sober from meth. Excuse me, I need to get my water. Where in the world is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. Much better. So, anyways, more about me. Let's see. What do we got? I love football. I love NASCAR. Been to several races, both here and, let's see. So I've been to Sonoma several times. That's the track closest to me. I've been to the dirt tracks around me. I have been to, I don't think it was a dirt track? Maybe it was a dirt track up in Anderson at the fairground. That was fun. That was a NASCAR sanctioned track. Very small. I forget what the distance is, but they had some really cool races there. Really cool races. I've always enjoyed myself when I've been there to see a race. Brett and I have been to Talladega. That was fun. We went to Arizona. Back when Arizona was the last regular season race before Homestead. Or actually not regular season. It was the last race of the season before Homestead. And that was the race that Clint Boyer, who did he beat up? I can't remember who he beat up, but if you watch NASCAR, you probably remember. Let me know. In any event, my newfound family, so I never knew my father, who he was, or anything like that. And I found him through Ancestry.com. So they are all from Philly. And the oldest of the boys, so I went from growing up with 3 brothers to having 7 brothers total and a sister. I never had a sister before. My sister is my oldest son's age. My youngest brother is younger than all of my kids. Anyway, so they live close to Pocono. And of course, one time when I flew out to Virginia for my sister's wedding and then drove up the coast, to Philly to visit the rest of the family, I drove through, Delaware, Maryland, all of the areas that have all these wonderful tracks. So, you never know. I'm not sure which one I'll hit first, but I'd love to go to Dover. I'd love to go to New Hampshire. I'd love to go to Bristol. I'd love to go to a night Bristol race. Whew. So, let's see. What else about me? Obviously, if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know that I love gardening. And by extension, I love cooking with what I get out of the garden. Especially when it comes to things like this, But we are pretty much at the end here. I think I've got enough zucchini. I'm just going to put this little bit left in there. And then I'll put the other zucchini aside, and once the bread goes into the oven, I will absolutely dice that up and put it in the freezer for smoothies. Okay. Alrighty. So yeah, I was the oldest of 3 brothers. I mean, of 4 kids. I had 3 younger brothers, and excuse me. And it wasn't until I was older that I realized that my stepdad wasn't my biological dad. Which, that's a whole nother subject, but suffice to say, I now have 2 dads. But, growing up with 3 brothers and no sisters, I always wanted a sister. But, the interesting thing is that I now have 2 brothers by the name of John. I have 7 brothers and 1 sister, and I am the oldest of everybody, which is a bummer. I don't really like being the oldest, but here we are. Okay. All right. So now that I have that shredded, it's a little bit more than 2 cups. It's okay. I'm always generous with that. I'm going to prepare the pans real quick. Okay. All right. So let's see here. I think I have. I'm not sure if I've used both of the aprons that the mother of the angel baby and 2 other grandchildren gave me for Christmas, but I decided to wear my how to cake it whoops, what do you call it, apron. So I don't know if any of you are familiar with Crime Scene Kitchen, and the host, one of the hosts, the gal, her name is Yolanda Camp. I think that's what it is. In any event, she helped host just a plethora of classes and whatnot during the pandemic, and it was awesome. And I took several. Okay, it's more than several, but I took every class I could possibly take, and learned a bunch of stuff. I got a ton of her recipes. I couldn't resist this apron, and I'm so glad I bought it because it is so soft and thick and just comfortable, easy to wash. Gosh, I'm telling you, if you ever have a chance to go to their website, howtocakeit.com, head on over and do some shopping there. Take some classes. It's a lot of fun. Anyways, it's fun to see her on Crime Scene Kitchen, yeah? I like to watch shows like that. Master Chef, Crime Scene Kitchens. Okay, let me wash my hands. Okay. There. I need a kitchen towel for my apron. Whoa. Okay, so it's actually pretty chilled today. I mean, it's September 2nd, and the projected high is supposed to be 74, and I actually put on pants to go shopping with Brett. Anyways, sorry about that. Brett came in, he don't have to be on camera. So I gave him space to rinse his bowl. So anyways, yeah, so I put pants on to go shopping with Brett today, and that I haven't had pants on since last winter. So, and even then it's very rare, you know. I don't know if any of you are from California, but I'm in California. I say Central California, but most people think of the Valley. But I live in the Bay Area. So, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, we're pretty moderate in our, we don't get extreme weather one way or the other. Well, sometimes we get counting last year, we have really had some hot weather. These, why in the world? We've really had some hot weather last couple of years. Well, before last year. And then starting last year, it turned into pretty mild summers. And so, anyways, this is our second mild summer. Hopefully it brings the rain like it did last year. Because honestly, as much as we got last year, we still need more. A lot of people are saying we're out of the drought, and I say don't listen to those people. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Okay. So basically, that's my that stick of butter. That stick of butter is my cake pan, bread pan kind of stick. I don't let anybody eat off of that because I use my hands to smear it all. Right. All right. Here we go. All right. Those are prepared, and I'm putting them in the fridge. So, this goes with the wet stuff, and I got the dry stuff here. Let me preheat the oven. Because now that that stuff is all done, it won't take long to get this done. Okay, so. First, we're going to prepare the dry stuff. I need 2 cups of flour. 2 cups or 3 cups? Hold on, let me find my phone. Hold that thought. Okay. Best zucchini. Oops. Zucchini bread recipe. So I'm looking for spend with pennies. Here it is. Now, on the phone that I'm using to record, I actually have her app. Okay, her name is Holly, right? And her website is spendwithpennies.com. But like I said, she does have an app, and it is so easy to use and just such a great resource. In any event, let's jump to the recipe and verify. It might be 3 cups. Oh, it is 2 cups. Okay. All right. I remember the rest. Okay. So we're going to do 2 cups of flour. To use something like this to help, with my measurements. I'm sure you're aware, you never just scoop the flour. You don't want it compacted. You want to pack it in like brown sugar, right? So just go like that, and then boom. Now, this bowl always looks small to me, so it always amazes me when I can fit all the dry ingredients for this recipe in here and still whisk it together. Okay. I am so hungry right now. I'm so hungry. Whew. All right, so now of my 14 grandchildren, my oldest grandchild is a boy. He actually becomes an adult in January, legally. He's a good boy. He's going to be into computer sciences, going to get a scholarship. He's just reminds me a lot of Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory, but with social skills. He doesn't like when I say that. So, anyways, he's a senior this year, and that's awesome. I love him so. He was my sidekick when he was a baby. Okay, so the next thing is, let's put this away. So the next thing is a cup and a half of sugar. So anyways, but my oldest granddaughter lives with me and my guy. So we're tripping because it's hard to believe that girl is in 8th grade. Oh, whoa. Sorry. I have tinnitus, and it just did a number. Just did a number in my head. Okay, so a cup and a half of sugar. Now I'm going to tell you right now that this is one of the more sweet type of bread than I'm used to. So you have to prepare yourself for that. I keep telling myself I'm going to kind of pull back on the sugar. And then I think, you know what? I'm going to treat it like cake without frosting. I'm okay with that. Anyways. Alright, so that's 1.5 cups of sugar. Bum, 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 bum. Every time I say sugar, that song comes to my brain. How many of you remember that? Okay, I might be telling on myself in terms of age, right? Okay, so I better look. I can't remember. I think it's 2 teaspoons of soda. Yes, 2 teaspoons of soda and 1 of salt. All right, so I took the flour and the sugar. We're going to add 2 teaspoons. Of baking soda. Oven's ready. Okay. 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm sorry. I have to put things away as I use them and don't need them again. So I have everything out. What am I doing? So 1 teaspoon of salt. I've got kosher salt that I usually use in my baking. I don't know why, but I've noticed when I was taking the cookie decorating classes, the recipes for not only the cookie mix, but the icing and things of that nature called for kosher. So that's what I do. Oops. Okay. And then, so after 2 teaspoons of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. I mean, it could be any kind of salt, honestly. Don't worry yourself over that. That's just, a preference. As long as it's salt, right? And 1 tablespoon. Yes, you heard me. 1 tablespoon of, what do you call it? Cinnamon. 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. All right, so that's all of the dry ingredients, okay? So, no longer need this. Now, it is really important to mix this well because you really want all of the baking soda and the flour and the sugar to be incorporated. You don't want one pocket of any one ingredient. You really, really want it to be married in there very, very nicely. So, we're going to make sure we do that, and then once we're done, we are going to, we are going to, let's not do that again. We're going to set it aside and work on the wet ingredients. Okay? Okay, now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in 3 eggs. Oh shoot, that doesn't usually happen. That was my fault. Okay, let me get my other. Alright, so my hand mixer took a big old dump on me. And I have this Dutch, literally a hand mixer. It's a dough mixer. And the design is flawless. It really does. Okay, Now, if I needed it to, like, become extremely fluffy, I would put it in a stand mixer, because I don't have it in me to do that literally by hand. But this is enough. Okay. So you're going to want 3/4, so that was 3 eggs. You're going to want 3/4 a cup of oil. I'm using a Smart Balance, which has several different oils. Canola being one of them. Okay. 1 tablespoon of, I think it's 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Let me just double check. Yep, 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Okay. Now, okay. All right, so 3 eggs, 1 tablespoon of vanilla, 3/4 cup of oil, be it vegetable, canola, whatever you prefer to bake with. There's no stringent, it has to be this or that type. Okay? So, and then of course, let me get a spatula. So, of course, we're going to then put the zucchini in. Okay? So that's basically 4 ingredients in each bowl, right? In that one we have flour, sugar. No, that one's 5. Okay. All right. I actually need here to put that in. I don't need that. So now, so the idea behind doing it this way is to be able to well mix everything before incorporating the 2 things together, because you do not want to overmix the batter. Okay. And that is because it can create a toughness to your crumb. So you want to make sure that everything is well mixed before you combine these 2. Okay, now here we go. What in the world is on the bottom of my foot? Okay. All right. You might want to add this a little at a time. I recommend doing it all at the same time because, again, you don't want to overmix. So you kind of want it all to be mixed at the same time. Okay. See in the holes? Look at that. Helps to mix it because everything's allowed to go through it. So you're not necessarily needing to mix as much as you would with a spoon. I don't know how to explain it, but it's so much easier. I love to use this to do bread dough. You know, I've never used my stand mixer to make bread, to mix bread dough. I am going to do that though. I've got a starter pack. I mean, I could start my own sourdough starter, but I picked one up from Baker Creek. And, you know, it's dehydrated, so you've got to basically bring it back to life, which is easy to do. But I'm looking forward to doing that and making some bread with my, using my stand mixer. Because I have bad, you know, I have psoriatic arthritis and a lot of damage in my joints. Because, you know, I went for decades with doctors telling me, well, what do you expect? I mean, look what you do for a living. Because I worked construction for like 25 years. And so whenever I would say, you know, something doesn't feel right here or there, they'd be like, well, look what you do for a living. And then as I got older, and I'd be like, you know, hey, you know, what's going on with this? Well, you know, you're not getting any younger. It's like, ooh. And so they basically, several doctors, basically just ignored all of my symptoms. And unfortunately, it wasn't until all the damage from not being treated affected my joints. And then plus I also have damage from all those years of construction work. I have bulging discs in my neck, and you know, it's just a lot. It's a lot. So I am actually considered permanently disabled. So, you know, I went from working for 25 years in construction to now my days are filled with, you know, gardening, baking. So, what am I looking for, y'all? Oh, my scale. All right, so I'm trying to remember. Can't remember what we ended up weighing in at. It was either 1-1 or 1-2. Oops. Okay. All right, here we go. One, 2 and 5/8. That's gonna be real close to all. I think it's 1-3. 1-3. You know, the first time I made this recipe, I did not measure. I mean, I did not weigh. I used my eyeball, which even when in working, that's never been a good idea. Okay, let's. Okay. Oops. Oh, maybe it's 1-5 actually. Let's go to 1-5. I think it's 1-5. There we go. Okay. Oops. Okay. All right. 1-2. Oh, okay. Okay. Must be a lot of humidity in the air today. Okay. Now, what in the world? 1-6. What? Okay. I know this is ain't alright, but hey, there's nothing worse than having bread that is 2 different sizes. Really, believe me. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay. That's fine. I can deal with a 1/4 ounce more. I tell you, this is definitely one of my favorite recipes. I don't know why that's not draining. Okay. Anyways, let's get this in the oven. Oh, whoops, wrong button. Okay, here we go. Alright, so basically it calls for cooking between 50 and 60 minutes. I think mine, I cooked it for 55 last time, and my oven runs a little hot, so I'm going to go 50. 50. So, timer, 50, start. Okay, so we are now at that point where I'm going to do a little cleanup work, and I'm going to pause this once it's time to pull it out of the oven. Well, pull them out of the oven. So don't forget, this is spendwithpennies.com recipe called Best Zucchini Bread recipe or something like that. She has an app that you can get in Google Play, as well as whatever the Apple Store is. I don't deal with Apple stuff. I'm a Google Android girl all the way. So she's got a ton of recipes, both savory and sweet. Check it out. Anyways, we'll see you when we get back. Oh, I wanted to show you something real quick. I went on vacation, right? Well, I don't know if you know or not, but we went on vacation. And I went to go see my stepson and his family. And we went to this place called Rustler's Roost. Okay? Rustler's Roost is one of the most awesome, unique, full of character places that you could possibly imagine. It reminds me of the Roadhouse vibe, but with kids. I mean, we had the live band, we had, you name it, they had it there. And one of the things they had there was rattlesnake. Yes, you heard it. And I ate the snake. And it was delicious. And all the kids thought it was delicious, and that was so shocking. What? Oh my gosh. Even one of my grandchildren, my granddaughter, she's much younger than Bella, but she swore all day long she's not eating that rattlesnake. She's not doing it. And when it got to the table, not only did she try it, but she couldn't stop eating it. She liked it so much. So, and the old adage, it tastes like chicken, not to me at all. To me, it I can't really pinpoint the flavor, but it was good. That's what I know for sure. Anyways, all right. We will see you when the timer goes off. All right. Peace. All right. So the timer is about to go off for the zucchini bread. It has to cool on a rack for like 10 minutes. And then you take it out of the pan and cool it the rest away before you store it. In the meantime, I've been preparing a hamburger veggie soup. And it is also from Holly over at Spin with Pennies. It's one of the easiest, most delicious flavored quick soups that I've ever made. Let's see. We got 2 minutes. All right, I'm gonna take you over there and let you see it. Alrighty, so let me get a hot pad. So you can find this recipe over at the Spin with Pennies website as well. This is basically hamburger vegetable soup. It's a pound of hamburger. It's 2 14.5 cans of petite cut tomatoes, can of corn, can of peas and carrots. I still have to cut the potatoes and put them in. There is, let's see here, a can of condensed tomato soup. What else? Oh, a box of beef broth. A couple of teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. Let's see. I'm gonna look at this here recipe. Oh, Italian seasoning, a bay leaf. Really any vegetables you want in there. So, yeah. So that's cooking. I'm gonna have that for dinner. So thanks to Holly over there at Spin with Pennies. We are going to be enjoying her yummies all day. Actually, all weekend. All right, let me get you back over here because the timer's about to go off. Oops. All right, what's going on here? Okay. Oh, there it is. Thumbs up. Okay. So, I know that I'm supposed to wait for it to cool down. I know that. However, I'm so hungry. I'm not sure I can wait. I might regret this. Let's see. Sometimes you gotta break that little hold on the side. Alright, ready? Still no. What in the world? It's probably because it's too soon. Darn it. Oh, I don't know why that won't come out. Grrr. 1:30. I'm gonna get a spatula. Okay. There we go. It slipped in there. Okay. Here we go. Ah, here it comes. Here we go. Okay, so normally you would let this sit for 10, and then you would allow it to come out and sit on here until it's completely cool. Again, I'm hungry. I'm hungry now. Now this is an overkill knife, but actually that's the wrong knife entirely. Oh, it smells so good. Now, this thing is heavy and it's hot as hell. But look at that crumb. Look at the the heat coming, the steam coming off of that. But it's so light and fluffy. I just want to stick that whole thing in my mouth. Now I'm really hungry. I think I'm going for just a little bit more. Okay. Shame on me. Alright. I already know what it's going to taste like. Oops. So light and fluffy. That is so good. Well, let's just put it this way. If you haven't yet, go get Spin with Pennies app or bookmark spinwithpennies.com and really just get in there and try some of the recipes because we'll be enjoying it all weekend. Alright, well, Mom, I love you. Hope you enjoyed this. And hope y'all get a chance to make this. So, alright, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.